Cassie Davis from House of Pain. Y'all clutch your pearls and pass the sweet tea, cause we're diving deep into some scorching drama that'll make your jaw drop. What if I told you that Tyler Perry's House of Pain, the sitcom that had us laughing, crying, and quoting Curtis Payne's cheapskate rants, was hiding a storm of scandal behind its family-friendly facade? We're talking ego wars, shady network betrayals, and heart-wrenching personal battles that could have crushed a lesser spirit. At the core of it all was Cassie Davis, the unshakable Ella Payne, who held the show together while dodging bullets of gossip and corporate games. House of Pain wasn't just a sitcom, it was a cultural titan dressed up as comedy, and Cassie walked through fire to keep its soul alive. So grab your church hat and let's spill this tea like it's Sunday brunch. Let's set the scene. Atlanta, 2006. TV's stuck in a snooze fest of predictable sitcoms. Think canned laughter and recycled jokes. Then Tyler Perry, the king of hustle, drops House of Pain like a cultural meteor. This show was different. It blended gut-punching comedy with raw stories about addiction, faith, and family chaos, serving up moments that had us cackling at Curtis's "oh hell nah" 1 minute and tearing up over Janine's recovery the next. Cassie Davis was Ella Payne, the matriarch who could whip up a pot of greens, quote proverbs, and shut down Curtis's nonsense with a single glare. She was the mom we all wanted, the auntie who'd pray for you and roast you at the family reunion. But when Tyler pitched this to TBS, the execs were quaking. They called the pilot brilliant, but were sweating like they'd seen Medea with a switch. They hired research teams to dissect Ella's church lady vibes and Curtis's over-the-top antics, fretting that middle America wouldn't get it. Newsflash, they got it and they loved it. When House of Pain hit the airwaves, it was a straight-up explosion. Suddenly, everyone was mimicking Ella's "now Curtis, you know better," or dancing to the theme song like they were at a Payne family cookout. The show became the longest-running sitcom with a predominantly black cast, churning out 254 episodes by 2012 and cementing its place in TV history. Cassie's Ella was the heartbeat, grounding the chaos. Whether it was Janine's drug battles, CJ's custody fights, or Curtis trying to save a dime by fixing the roof himself. But while the Paynes were thriving on screen, off-screen was a hot mess. The set was a pressure cooker. Actors scrapping for screen time, writers throwing elbows to get their jokes in, and egos flaring like a grease fire. Cassie, the emotional rock, was caught in the middle, leaning on her faith. She's a born-again Christian who prays before every take to keep her cool. But even her Bible verses couldn't shield her from the drama coming her way. Let's get to the juicy stuff. What was really popping when the cameras cut? The cast was a dream team on paper. Alan Payne's stoic CJ, LaVan Davis's bombastic Curtis, Lance Gross's fine-as-hell Calvin. But behind the scenes, it was like a reality show called Survivor Sitcom Edition. The tea. And y'all, sip this carefully cause it's unconfirmed, says LaVan Davis, Mr. Curtis himself, was throwing shade at Cassie, feeling like her matriarch status stole his comedic thunder. Word is, LaVan's ad-libs, which made Curtis a legend, sometimes derailed Ella's scenes, and Cassie had to fight to keep her character's voice strong. Then there's Keshia Knight Pulliam, who rolled in as Miranda. Rumor has it Keshia, still glowing from her Cosby Show days, was gunning for more screen time and saw Cassie's central role as a roadblock. No receipts, but the set vibes were giving smile for the cameras, side-eye in the trailer. Cassie stayed classy, but in a 2022 interview, she hinted at the tension, saying, "We were a family, but even families have their moments." Translation, it was messy. Now, let's talk the network shenanigans, cause TBS was playing dirty. They were all in when Payne was smashing ratings, but as the show got bolder, diving into Janine's addiction, Calvin's domestic drama, and Ella's unapologetic faith, they got jittery. Censorship became their favorite game. One week, Curtis joking about his beloved pork rinds was cool. The next, it was too much. Ella's prayer scenes, which Cassie poured her heart into, got chopped for being too churchy. Tyler Perry called it dancing blindfolded. The network kept shifting the rules, and Cassie was stuck fighting to keep Ella's spirit alive. She later said, "Ella was my heart, and I had to protect her, no matter what." That's her being diplomatic, but the real talk? Those cuts felt like a slap to her faith and her craft. But the shadiest betrayal, the reruns. Oh honey, this is where it gets grimy. By 2010, House of Pain was printing money, pulling in millions of viewers. Then TBS pulled a snake move, airing reruns without warning Tyler or the cast, not on slow nights, but during prime slots, clashing with new episodes. Why? To juice up their weaker shows, using Pain's loyal fans as a springboard. This wasn't a mistake, it was a power play. Those reruns were supposed to revert to Tyler's control for syndication, meaning big checks for him and the cast, including Cassie. By flooding the airwaves early, TBS tanked the show's value, robbing everyone of their due. Cassie never aired it out publicly, she's too much of a queen for that, but insiders say she was gutted. Years of sweat and soul exploited for corporate gain. That's betrayal with a capital B. Let's dive deep into the personal and emotional stakes, cause Cassie wasn't just battling on set, she was fighting demons off screen that would have broken most. In 2020, when House of Pain got its BET revival, fans noticed Cassie's face looked different, and the internet turned into a gossip factory. Ex-posts and blogs screamed stroke, speculating like they had her medical chart. Cassie had to clap back, revealing it was Bell's palsy, a condition that temporarily paralyzed part of her face. Can you imagine the guts it took to keep filming as Ella, serving those warm smiles and sassy one-liners while the world picked apart her appearance? She opened up in a 2021 interview saying, "I leaned on God, but it was a lonely road." The loneliness wasn't just from the rumors. Word is some cast members didn't reach out during her health scare. No names, but the silence was louder than a church choir. Tyler tried to support her, even adjusting scenes to ease her load. But when the spotlight's that bright, the shadows feel like quicksand. Cassie's emotional stakes went beyond health. She's always been the mama of the cast, mentoring younger actors like Demetria McKinney and China Anne McClain, who played Jasmine. But that nurturing came at a cost. Rumors swirled that Cassie felt stretched thin, playing peacemaker during set drama while dealing with her own stress. In a rare candid moment on a 2023 podcast, she admitted, "Fame's a heavy crown. You love the work, but it tests your heart." Add to that the whispers about her dynamic with Tyler Perry. Their onstage chemistry in Madea Plays was electric. Cassie created Aunt Bam's character during a tour, riffing with Tyler like they were siblings. But offstage, some say Tyler's relentless pace, cranking out episodes like a factory, left Cassie exhausted. There's unconfirmed tea that she once asked for a lighter schedule, only to be met with, "We need Ella." Loyalty kept her going, but the emotional toll was real. The gossip gets spicier when you dig into her set dynamics. Take LaVan Davis. On screen, Curtis and Ella were comedy gold, like Martin and Gina with a mortgage. Off screen, the tea suggests LaVan's big personality could overwhelm Cassie's calm vibe. Crew members whispered that his ad-libs sometimes cut into Ella's lines, and Cassie had to quietly push back to keep her character's weight. Then there's Lance Gross, the set's heartthrob. Rumor has it he and Cassie had a mother-son bond, but some say he got caught up in his rising fame, leaving Cassie feeling like her mentorship was a one-way street. And don't sleep on China Anne McClain. Word is, as a teen star, she had diva moments that clashed with Cassie's no-nonsense vibe. Though they later bonded, none of this is hard fact, but the whispers paint a picture of Cassie navigating a minefield of egos while keeping her faith and smile intact. Let's sprinkle in some pop culture references and humor to keep this lit. House of Pain gave us moments etched in our brains, like Curtis trying to fix the dishwasher and flooding the kitchen, or Ella dragging him for spending $20 on a bargain grill that caught fire. Who didn't crack up when Curtis yelled, "I ain't paying for no air conditioning," while sweating buckets? Or when Ella hit him with, "Curtis, you cheaper than a clearance rack at the dollar store." The show was our Friday meets of the Jeffersons, serving laughs with a side of real talk. Cassie's Ella was the queen of shade, like when she told Janine, "Chili, get yourself together, cause this mess ain't it." And let's not forget the Fly Girls level glow up when Ella got her hair done for the church banquet, strutting like she was on a BET red carpet. These moments weren't just funny, they were cultural gold, memes before memes were a thing. The humor wasn't just on screen, Cassie brought it behind the scenes. During Madea stage plays, she and Tyler would go off script, tossing lines like they were at a cookout. One night, Cassie ad-libbed Bam saying, "I'ma pray for you, but I'ma cuss you out first," and the crowd lost it. That's the energy that made her a legend. She even had the cast cracking up on set, like when she jokingly told LaVan, "Curtis, you so cheap, you'd sell your socks for gas money." But that humor was her armor, hiding the pain of industry pressures and personal struggles. It's like she was channeling Medea's sass and Ella's grace, all while dodging the drama. Back to the power dynamics, cause the industry did Cassie dirty. TBS wasn't about creativity, they wanted control. Censoring Ella's faith-based lines wasn't just editing, it was silencing a black woman's voice, a pattern too common in Hollywood. The rerun stunt was straight up exploitation, using a black created show to boost their lineup while screwing over Tyler and the cast. Cassie, as a black actress, faced the double whammy of being undervalued despite being the show's heart. Whispers of her earning less than some co-stars even with her central role. Unconfirmed, but it tracks with the industry's history of shortchanging black women. Tyler fought the suits, but even he was outmaneuvered, proving the system's built to clip creative wings, especially for black storytellers. By season 6, the show was wobbling. Tyler's Medea empire had him stretched thin, and Payne's spark dimmed. Storylines recycled like Curtis's old undershirts. Fans grumbled, but Cassie kept Ella shining, even with weaker scripts. The 2012 cancellation hit like a brick. No finale, no fanfare. Just gone. Cassie felt it deep, saying, "We gave our all, and it stung to see it end like that." But the legacy? Untouchable. House of Payne paved the way for Blackish, Insecure, and All-American, proving black stories could be funny, messy, and profound. Its 2020 BET revival, still running in 2025, is a testament to its grip on the culture. Cassie's Ella remains iconic, and her Aunt Bam role in Medea films, born from a tour joke, shows her comedic genius. Cassie's legacy is a masterclass in resilience. She mentored stars like China Anne McClain, stayed true to her faith, and married her high school sweetheart Carrie Patton in 2017, giving us black love goals. Tyler calls her family, saying in 2023, Cassie's heart made Ella eternal. She's out here stealing scenes in Medea's Homecoming and dropping Ella's wisdom on BET, proving she's a force. They tried to dim her through health rumors, set drama, and corporate greed, but Cassie Davis is a legend. The fans never forgot, the culture never forgot, and history, it's writing her name in neon. What's your favorite Cassie moment? Ella's shade or Bam's chaos? Drop it below and let's keep this tea steaming.